Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 9 of our Timberborn playthrough. If you guys are new to this series, definitely check out some of the older videos. Consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date on this series as well as others. Leave a like and a comment, let me know how I'm doing. We'll go through a quick recap of episode 8, and then we'll get into the video. Okay, in episode 8, the primary focus was our battery system, as well as getting a couple engines mapped out so we can get more consistent power going through our industrial area. We also built a fairly significant storage area and a medical facility here in town. Now, I got a couple comments that we are lacking the gears to be able to finish a lot of this medical stuff. That is true. I do have my gear production paused, mainly because I want to get planks out as rapidly as possible, and we already have 15 vacancies in this district, as well as 18 in Fall City, our main district. So I'm simply prioritizing plank production over gears so that we can get our battery system built, because all of these platforms require planks. And then after that, I definitely want to get some metal going so that we can get those batteries built and get the power network hooked up. However, for today, what are we going to work on? So, one thing that we are going to work on is kind of mapping out our future industrial area as we see it. So, the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this little path right there, so that I can get a... nope. I'm not only going to remove the path, I'm going to remove the path and the platform so that I can get a vertical power shaft right there. So let's put that on the highest of priorities. In addition to the stairwell, because a beaver got stuck here as I was powering up the video, and I just thought it was kind of funny. So we had to fix that. But anyway, let's get rid of this path. It's not needed. Another thing that is almost not needed is this scaffolding. Once we get a 1x2 rooftop in there, I want to get it so that all of these houses have rooftops. I think that this is looking really good. This hillside housing with the, all the platforms and the stairs, the shrubs, the rooftop terraces. I think it looks really good. So we're going to continue that. In an effort to continue that, we are going to work on getting some scaffolding in to be able to build a roof up here. So let's get a 1x2 roof up there. That way we can continue working, and I think we are going to put scaffolding and the roofs at medium high priority. I get it, totally unnecessary. Let's go to triple speed here so that we can keep working. This is going to need gears, which is unfortunate. Look, and another beaver got stuck. Why? Beavers, why? What are you doing? These beavers, they just don't know. They just don't know what's good for them, you know? So let's go ahead. Let's put that on high priority. If they get stuck again, I'm probably just going to build them their own stairwell to be able to get down, rather than replace this for a third time. You can see exactly what they're doing. They're walking out here. Anyway, we're making really good progress on the battery system. We're also very close to being able to route our power down here, which is good. That's exactly what we want. And then once we do so, we are going to start filling in this area with industrial buildings. So let's do a quick resource check. We got 3 days left in the drought. In Hillview, we have 750 water, over 1k food. I think we are okay. And then if we come over to Fall City, 1.6 water, 3.2k of food. That is more than enough. We're doing great. So with that being said, let's just kind of ramp up population growth in Fall City. And then population growth is already essentially maxed out in Hillview as of now. So I think for now we're doing okay. Do I want to add in a few more pods? Might just map out like 4 more, just for now. But we can go ahead and put those on lowest priority. They don't need to build these right away. Actually, let's go second lowest. Moderately low priority. Okay, so things are going pretty good. So, once this drought is over, we are going to start up another gear workshop so that we can continue working on some of the stuff that we've got going on. And then also, we're going to need to get these metal blocks going sooner rather than later. So we have 14 vacancies right now. They're all haulers, which means that we are operating a little bit more inefficiently than normal. You can also see that we have 4 of our water pumps paused, so those are some jobs that will be eaten up once we get back into the, I don't know what we want to call it, the rainy season. So just something to consider, that by mapping out a lot of new industrial buildings, we might not have the population required, to support it fully. So, something to keep in mind. And I did not realize that the healers require metal blocks. So I think we might, actually, we can go ahead and pause that for now. We can also go ahead and pause those because it is the dry season after all. They're not working, so might as well get them into the hauling post so that they can at least move things around, be a little productive. Okay. So our district crossings are working great. We've maxed them out at 10 workers apiece, so they are moving goods back and forth with ease. Let's see, these are requiring planks, the large storage areas. But I think for the most part, we are doing pretty good. And I really want to get this stairwell built so that this is no longer an issue. But they're waiting on planks, which we're not going to get until that wet season. So let's take a look at our industrial area and kind of think about what we're going to do in here. So we're going to get the power down here, and it's going to route directly into here. I think we're going to unlock the paper mill. I'm thinking we're going to put 2 paper mills right here, like that. I think 2, maybe even, I don't know, do I need 4 paper mills? Is that excessive? Probably excessive for now, but it might not be a terrible idea. So let's get 2 of those going. Let's get a gear workshop going. Let's get a metal works going, and let's see how we're doing for vacancies. Yeah, pretty aggressive on the vacancies. 13 of them, which is why I built a few more breeding pods. I figured 5 was keeping us pretty stagnant, so by adding a few more, we should start to grow. And then similarly in this district, we do have 18 vacancies, but I think by adding a few more operational breeding pods, we should start to see that population growth tick up marginally, which will be good. Let's see, 12 vacancies. Can I afford another? Yeah, I think I can afford another lumber mill. So now we have 14 vacancies. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think 14 vacancies is workable. All right, so the drought has ended. So let's go back into Fall City. Let's get these water pumps activated again. So now that brings us to 24 vacancies, meaning we actually only have 6 haulers, which is not great. And then similarly, let's unpause a couple more water pumps. So we now have 4 operational. I think 4, I don't know, 56, or no, 45 rather. 45 beavers. I think 5 is more than enough. But okay, so the water is starting to flow. Hopefully we will start to get some fermented cassava underway. You can see that we have 1,000 raw cassava just sitting in our storage right now. And then once we get some power flowing through here, we should start to see some planks and some gears produced, which will be good. That'll be very good to see. You'll see that as soon as this water overflows, we'll start to get our full power output in here of about 1100, which is more than enough to operate these facilities. And then once we get the batteries and the engines, do not forget about the engines. Once we get those involved, we should be pretty golden to be able to work. And I just want this to be built so I can delete this path and start to block that in with industrial buildings. Because like I was saying, I want these paper mills initially to be like this. So once I put them in, there will be no way for these beavers to access this high power shaft. So I need that gear. There we go. Okay. So now we can delete this path. We can come in here with some paper mills. And the paper is primarily going to be used for explosives. So let's get a power shaft coming across there. And these paper mills need gears. All right, let's set these to absolutely lowest priority, along with the engines, because the way I look at it is until we get these engines up and running, we're going to be hurting as far as our production buildings go. You know, it's just the nature of what we're doing here. And then similarly, let's put this other storage tank at the lowest priority, as well as this whole setup. And then at medium low, we can put the decorations. I think that that's a good distribution. Over here, let's do highest priority in this roof so that I can remove the scaffolding. I can actually come over here and remove this scaffolding because I got the roofs up and running. So let's remove those. There are a few planks in here, which is good to see. These are getting a maximum amount of power. We're exceeding our power output, or our power need, by about 200, which I think is a pretty healthy amount. Yes, and we got the stairs in without trapping a beaver, which is great. I was really worried that we were going to end up trapping a beaver. We're starting to get some metal blocks in. I wonder if they're being transferred over here. I doubt it, simply because we do not have the storage set up for it. So let me see. Storage under there is for gears, I want to say. Because I kind of want to keep our storage like fairly central through here. So let me see if I can redesign. Do I want to do that? If I can redesign this to allow for more storage. I don't think I can, but what I can do is if I remove those, just extend that out, I can now put a storage in here for metal blocks. Like that. And let's put these at moderately high, as well as this. And then if I come over here, I'm going to put all of this at the highest. So this should get built first. And then do we have a metal blocks storage? Yes, yes we do. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Alright, this has the logs necessary. It's starting to get the planks necessary, not the gears, though, because we are virtually using all of our gears every time that we receive one. Are we starting to export the metal blocks? Yes, it should be on input as needed. Import blocked by lack of storage. Yeah, so I do need to put in a storage facility for the metal blocks before they will actually act on that input request. Okay, so let's come through here. I'm going to continue to map out this industrial area. So let's get 2 more paper mills in there. Those are not all going to be running at the same time. But what we can do is add in some storage here. So if I go like that, and then get a medium warehouse in there. This will be to store paper. I'm trying to think if there would be a better way to actually kind of put some stairs down to be able to access multiple levels of this. Let's see if I can make that work. Now that I think about it, actually. I think at minimum I can get... storage like this. And then if we come through here, and I get a triple, and a triple. I can get some storage like that. So let's make this for paper. This one, not sure what this is going to store. Maybe paper again, quite honestly. Yeah, we can do double. We can do double paper. I think that'll be okay. Because we can also put additional storage over here, especially now that we have this massive kohlrabi storage. We have 2 vacant storage facilities here. Let's take a look at our population. So our population is growing over here. Over here, yeah, it's steadily. This is much more steady. This is a little bit more rapid, which I'm okay with, just because our resources are in such a good place. That I'm okay with some level of storage. Or of rapid population growth, rather. I don't know why I said storage. But okay, they're just continuing to work their way down here by building the platforms. Very good to see. And then let's see if these metal blocks are actually being exported over here. They are, because we have the storage available. So if we go into this district here, we are importing metal blocks. Import enabled by storage and workplace demand. Okay. Very good. Now, one thing that I wanted to do, I wanted to kind of prep for when we get the population required to do this. But I want to set up another... We go into district management. I want to set up another crossing. Ooh, and I may have just... Nope, I can fit it in still. So let's see. I need to remove this kohlrabi right here in order to do this. I want to add in another crossing so that we can get even more beavers working on distributing goods between the 2 districts. We do not have the population to support that right now, but I think we will in fairly short order. So let's get that in there. Delete this one out. Get rid of that path. And then we can get a district crossing in there. Yeah, I think that's going to work nicely. And again, don't have the population to support this right now. This is a future thing that I just wanted to remember to do. Because I think having more district crossings will only improve the ability to distribute resources between the two cities. So let's go ahead and let's remove this temporary scaffolding. We can go ahead and pick those up at the highest priority. And then these are chugging away on the gears and the metal blocks, which is really good. I would love it if we could get one of those up and running before the next drought. Just that we can get a little bit more consistent power output. And if we go into these, the engines, they produce 400, which is not enough to operate. Certainly not enough to operate all of these, but I don't even think it's enough. Yeah, 120. It's, you know, it's close, but certainly not to operate all of these plus the paper mills. Definitely not. But getting a couple engines to, especially once we have the batteries up, augment that power provided by the battery system will be very beneficial indeed. So, what else are we going to want down here? So the reason that we're getting the paper is so that we can make explosives. So let's go ahead and unlock both the explosives factory and the dynamite. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll have a little line there. Interesting. Or do I want to turn them this way and go 1, 2, 3? So what if I go 1, 2, 3? I'm just going to pause production of all 3 of those. And then if I go into storage here, get some storage in there. Then I could connect those up like so. But then I would have no way to get up on top of there. Actually, yes, I would. So let me see. If I get a shrine in there before we build this. Actually, no. Let's get a... If I go into well-being, let's get a grindstone in there. Something a little bit more practical. Ooh, and I can't build... I can build a double over it, but not a single. So let's get a little bit more storage in there. Like that. Yeah. And then could I get storage up on top of there? Potentially. I could certainly get storage for one facility. Minimum. Because I could do something like that. And anyway, let's get these bottom 2 to store explosives. Not sure what the rest of them are going to store, but I like where this is going thus far. It is nice and compact. I like that a lot. And then we could actually get another storage in there. I'm all about the excessive amounts of storage that we are working with. So we're getting some storage in there. We got both of these are for paper. I have 2 explosives. And then I have 2 over here, and I can even add some more storage on top of there. So we have plenty of storage mapped out, which is great. You can quite honestly never have enough storage. And I'm consistently confused as to why this power wheel doesn't want to work. Maybe there's just not enough flow going on here. I've been informed, I can't remember by who, on the YouTube comments, that the platforms actually do not affect the flow of the water. I believe it was Kevin Watkins who actually informed me of that in the comments, which is a great, that's a great point. I didn't, you know, I was always weary of building platforms in areas where I need good water flow for power. But according to him, they do not affect the flow of the water, which is great news because it kind of gives me a little bit more freedom to act. And look at the progress that they are making here. The last thing that we need to build in here is these platforms. So let's come in here. Let's prioritize that whole stack just to make sure that it gets built. Okay, and then let's do a quick population check. So this population is rocketing right now, which makes me think I'm going to go ahead and pause these 4 to try and slow that down a little bit. What about this population? This population is definitely increasing, but it's more stable. It's more stable, as we've established already. I have maxed out our area for water storage here. Once we get some dynamite, we're going to kind of square this off so we can mirror the 6 right here so that we can add 3 more. And then over here for food, we just have monster food numbers because we have both of these storages. If we come in here, fermented cassava is almost maxed out, which is pretty great to see. Now, I think we're going to take a large warehouse. So let's see. If I put one here, it's going to eat into one tile here. So I'll have one here. And then one here. Yeah, so let's put that in. Let's get a path there. I'm going to put a little platform there so that I can continue the shrubs going on. And then I'm actually going to empty this. So this will be for kohlrabi. I'm going to empty this building. I'm not sure where that's going to go. We don't have enough storage within this district to be able to accept all of that kohlrabi, but at least they won't continue to fill it, which will be good. Okay, so we got this whole system, this whole platform area built. So let's go ahead and get rid of those. Let's go into power. And let's get a couple batteries on the end there. These are in range, so let's go ahead and make those the highest priority. Actually, no. I'm going to make this engine the highest priority because it's already on its way. As far as gears and metal blocks goes, this one, not so much. And I would love to get an engine up and running so that we can really start to churn out some goods, especially during the dry season. The fact that we have to pause, essentially pause production every time the dry season comes along, it's killing us because that's, you know, I'd say probably a quarter of our time, of our production time, is just dealing with the, you know, the production of goods. We continuously are stonewalled when it comes to the production of goods. Okay, so we got some healers up and running, which is great. We're starting to get some medicine in here. Actually starting to get some medicine in the opposing district too, which is really nice to see. And they're starting to work on these, delivering the planks, of which we actually have a decent number. What I might do is add in another pile for planks, just to kind of preempt some of the issues that we're seeing. So let's go ahead and get that in there. That will be for planks. These are for metal blocks. These are just getting eaten by our network almost immediately. You can see gears are going here. This has all the logs it needs, but 40 gears, that is a pretty substantial number to come by. Let's get this storage built. And then I think we get the other medicine facility built after that. If we go into decoration here, we can add in a couple shrubs and then just kind of map out. I will need something in like that, so that I can get all of these oriented correctly. And then similarly, we will continue the shrub work. I'll go ahead and get those paths in there so we can get this emptied out, transferred hopefully into this facility, and then go from there. Let's see, planks. Yeah, we do have 98, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. We do only have 4 builders in here, which is a limiting factor, to be sure. But in Fall City, in our main district, I'm less concerned with raw building capacity. A lot of the stuff that we're building over here is kind of nice to haves. Over here, however, this is stuff that we actively need. And we need it to be built. Let's see, 95 planks. So this takes 3 hours to make 1 gear out of 1 plank. This takes 0.63. Yeah, so I can easily support another gear workshop. We are getting the storage going. Let's preempt this. Let's get another gear storage going on. Just in an effort to future-proof, so we can get that in there. Can never have too many gears. That is for sure. Oh, and we actually got this built. And I'm going to pause both of those because they're just eating into valuable personnel. Or personnel, beavers. Valuable beavers that we have working in both of these districts. So this district currently is sitting at 16 vacancies. Alright, their population is rising pretty rapidly. So I'm going to go ahead and pause a few of those breeding pods. This district I already paused 4. And it looks like our population is still growing, so I'm going to pause 2 more. Just that we don't get completely carried away when it comes to these districts. Now, we do have 12 homeless beavers, and that's unacceptable. So let's go into housing. Definitely want to get a barrack in there. But before we do, if I delete these paths, I did want to get some kind of usage out of these platforms here. I kind of use them to fill in the gaps. Though not necessary, I think it adds a little bit to the, you know, the general setup of this facility. And I could get a path through here. I just don't know what I would build over here. Could build another rooftop terrace if I were so inclined. I don't believe that I can build a campfire. I believe these have to be built on the ground. Yeah, it must be built on ground. But rooftop terraces, shrines, Lidos. This district doesn't have any Lidos. Alright, so the drought has started. So let's pause all but maybe 2 of those, and then we come over here and pause excuse me, we come over here and pause all of the water pumps so that we don't get completely carried away. And if we go to well-being, we get a Lido. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to need 2 more of those to be able to get it in here. But that should be easy enough. So now that we have these, now that we have the Lido in here, let's go to decoration. Let's get a couple of those. As well as a beaver statue in there. I like that. I like how it's set up. I think that looks good. Ooh, and we have our first battery. Alright, so that alone holds 32,000 horsepower. So now we just need to continue to walk the batteries back. Let's make the batteries highest priority, so that those are built first. And then I would like to find a way up the side of this hill here. So I'm just going to kind of meander my way. Up here. So let's see. I get a path in there. So we'll come up like that. And that'll get us a path there. Path over like that. Set of stairs up. Let's go double. Let's see. Double, triple. There we go. We just got up there. And now let's go into decorations. And I would love to get a bunch of shrubs in there. And then let's see if we go triple, double. With a couple shrubs on there. I think that that'll look good. And this is, you know, there's really no reason that this needs to be done other than I want a way up here. And therefore, we're going to kind of do every, you know, trick in the book to be able to get up there. So, oh, and we have an engine up and running. I'm going to prioritize that by haulers. I'm going to pause it, though, because we still have... Actually, no, we do need that. We absolutely need that, because we need power, at least some degree of power, to make this operational. Man, and that'll last a long time. 48 hours, 2 full days on 1 load of logs. It's not giving us nearly enough power, but, you know, it's a start for sure. It allows us to at least produce something during the dry season, as opposed to previously where you were in the dry season and you just did not... you just didn't produce anything. So let's do a quick conditions check. About halfway through the drought, we have almost 1,000 water, 1.2 food in Hillview. We have 2,000 water and 4.6 food in Fall City. So that is extreme, to say the least. And then once they pick these up, we can go ahead and add in a couple more storages here. Let's see, kohlrabi. Now let's empty this one as well. This one's not going to be kohlrabi. This one is going to be... This one's going to be fermented. This one's going to be fermented cassava. These two will be kohlrabi. Maybe a third will be kohlrabi as well. So maybe 3 massive storages of kohlrabi, and then 2 large storages of fermented cassava. That might be overkill though. I could always leave one vacant, similar to what I did over here, where they are not accepting goods. So, you know, you never know. I am going to pause one of the gear workshops to try and force a little bit more power into the rest of the facilities. Gears and metal blocks are both our hindrance currently. We do have 2 unemployed beavers though. So let's go metal for one of them. And then... yeah, I guess gears. I'm going to pause one of these. Let's get another. So now we have all 3 of our gears workshops functional. Our Lido is built, which is great. I love the, you know, the beavers got to get their rest and relaxation for sure. In this district alone, though, we do have 13 unemployed beavers. And let's see. Do I want to just line this with shrubs? Something like that. And then we'll do the same thing on that top tier. Yeah, I think that'll work. That'll work quite nicely. Good selected. Beaver is injured. Building lacks power. Yep, I'm aware that the building lacks power. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and maximum priority that facility. Let's add in our next battery. And we essentially just need to walk these back until the final battery is sitting right here, where they can fill it from the stairs. Then we can route the power up, and we will be good to go. Let's get rid of that one. Let's also get rid of that path. Let's get a couple vertical power shafts in there. And we are just, yeah, we're doing pretty good, guys. I think this is going to bring us to the end of the episode. A little bit of a shorter one today, but I think we are on a pretty good glide path. I might let this run briefly in between episodes 9 and 10, just to allow the beavers to finish building some of the stuff that we're already working on. But you guys are generally getting the gist of what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a nice industrial area, keep it nice and compact. Really take advantage of vertical construction by stacking things on top of one another, especially when it comes to storage. I think stacking storage is hugely effective, mainly because you don't want to just occupy so much ground space with storage. You know, you want to occupy ground space with things that need the space, like all of our industrial buildings. This is a very tightly packed facility. Fall City, a little bit less so, but still marginally compact. Anyway, if you made it this far and you enjoyed the episode, definitely consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a like and a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. And if you are feeling generous and would like to support the channel financially, please check out the Patreon, linked in the description below, and leave a comment below as to what big benefits you would like to see from the Patreon. as far as save files, maybe some streams, maybe some exclusive content, early release content. Let me know what you guys would like to see, and I'm more than happy to work to facilitate your opinions. So anyway, until the next time, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.